with the Internet Bill of Rights, this is another huge ace in the hole that we have here. And a lot of people talk about Internet Bill of Rights in the sense of, not allowing censorship, right? Our method to dealing with that would be, look, these social media companies are vital services that you can't really run a business. You can't really run a nonprofit, a political campaign. You can't do that without social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you guys saw on the Joe Gilbert campaign, like everything is just stacked against you in that. As we've been seeing in the Twitter files, everything is stacked against you on Twitter, right? So that's election interference. That's rigging, market rigging, all the above. So we're saying the power company, it's a legal principle. The power company cannot shut off your power because they don't like your opinions. It doesn't matter if you are the biggest piece of garbage in the entire world. It doesn't matter if you're from the KKK, if you're from the neo-Nazis, if you're from some of these murderous anarchist groups. It doesn't matter how terrible of a person you are. They can't shut off your power. The phone company, they can't shut off your phone because they don't like your opinions. It doesn't matter how terrible a person you are. And that is because they're this thing called public utilities. And so we made a deal back in the day. Like a lot of power companies are the only power company in town. So it's like, hey, in exchange for this essentially monopoly rights that you have here, you have to abide by some rules. And one of those rules is you can't just shut people off because you feel like it, right? So that should be a hard set principle on the internet, just like it's a hard set principle in other arenas. And I think that would help things a lot. The next thing of the Internet Bill of Rights, the thing that is our ace in the hole here, the thing that's going to allow us to pull off this Andrew Yang-like spring out of the woodworks and get really popular really fast is our idea of data sovereignty and the great data clawback. So everywhere on the internet, everywhere you go, they are tracking your data, right? So every website you go to, even if you don't use Google, Facebook, or any of these giants, Google Analytics is in every single web page out there, right? And they can see every single keystroke you make. And they could even see, like, if you go to type something in on a website and you don't hit enter, they could see implied text is what that's called. They could track your locations every single place you go. They have tracking cookies that they could see what your behavior was versus what your buying habits are. And so they can essentially build these unimaginably complex psychological profiles on each and every one of us individually, and they can know what makes us sad, what makes us happy, what makes us motivated to take action one way or another. And they can use that to manipulate the crap out of us or sell that to other corporations so that they can manipulate the crap out of us into buying their stuff or doing their thing or pushing their cause or whatever. And it's not just your online behavior. It's not just on your phone and on your computer. Your phone listens in a lot of cases to your offline conversations, and it's this AI in your phone that transcribes it into text and then sends that text in, right? So they'll say, oh, we're not listening. It's like, yeah, that AI thing in my phone is listening and it's sending you the transcript, right? So that's the weasel words they use. Every single thing that passes through a tier 1 data center, emails, calls, all that stuff, that's tracked. When you go to the store, like especially in Arizona now, Walmart has these facial recognition cameras that track you every single place you walk through the store, every single thing you buy. The banks, they take your name off there, they give you a number, and they aggregate the data and give that all to these AI companies and these tech giants. The hospitals, they take all of your medical data and they give it over, they sell it. The DNA companies, they take all of your DNA and they sell it to big pharma, right? So everyone's getting rich off our data except us. And that data right now is worth trillions and trillions of dollars. And moving into the future, it's going to be exponentially more valuable, tens, potentially even hundreds of trillions of dollars. So what we're saying is that, look, if you want to cyberstalk the shit out of us and make trillions of dollars off our data, then you need to pay us our cut, right? We own the data. That data should go to a blockchain that we own. And every time that gets touched, whether that's by a corporation, by an AI, by a federal law enforcement, by whoever, we got to get paid our cut every single time. So this is essentially a path to eventually $1,000, $1,500 a month for every single person in the United States and potentially the world if they pick it up too. And so we're calling that our universal passive income. It differs from universal basic income in the fact that it's not just a handout from other taxpayers, which wouldn't be fair. Universal passive income is a fair business exchange that allows everybody to earn money off the value that they're generating for these tech titans that are taking over the world, right? And this data it's becoming more and more valuable. It is the gas that every single AI company needs to use to function, right? These AI, if you want to train your AI, you need a mountain of data to have it learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in exchange for us allowing these robots to take over the world, they got to pay us our cut, right? Obviously, we can't really stop that stuff, but we can slow it down a little bit, and we can make it more expensive, and we can make it more fair as they gobble up more and more of every industry, right? We got these chat bots taking over customer service. We got these factory robots taking over a bunch of manufacturing jobs. In Arizona, we have these self-driving cars everywhere that right now I could pull up my phone, I could order a car without a driver, and I could go somewhere in a car without a driver, right? So they're putting a bunch of drivers out of work. So what are we going to do in a society where in the next decade, there's going to be tens of millions of jobs? How are we going to manage that without just descending into Mad Max land? And how we're going to manage that is with this regime change, with this Internet Bill of Rights, and with this universal passive income that allows everybody to get by based on the value that they're providing.
Better than their solution. Their solution seems to be population control, killing us, large amounts of people from what their actions and their words that are coming out of certain European capitals.